We had a scrimmage Saturday. We also have some fall camp news. We're going to get into that right now. Number one thing I love hearing out of the scrimmage Saturday, Anthony Hill, MVP of the scrimmage. Everywhere you looked, anyone that wanted to talk about the scrimmage, this was the guy they mentioned. He would have had 2 would-be sacks on Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning, but obviously not allowed to touch the quarterback. He beat Brandon Baker and Kelvin Banks. I mean, no offense to Brandon Baker. He's going to get beat every time with Anthony Hill lining up there. Guys, Anthony Hill has the highest upside of any player on this team. Let me repeat that for anyone that isn't listening. Anthony Hill has the highest upside of anyone on this team. And you're thinking, Matthew, they have Arch Manning. They have Quinn Ewers. They have Isaiah Bond. They have Trey Moore. They have Kelvin Banks. Sorry, I should have mentioned him up way higher than I did. Yes, Anthony Hill to me, and I know this comparison's already been made, Micah Parsons. That's his comp, Micah Parsons. The guy's, I think, going to be a fantastic inside linebacker. That's what Micah Parsons was originally drafted by the Cowboys to do. And then we saw him last year, second on the team in sacks, guys. Second on the team in sacks with 5.5. He only played 40 to 50% of snaps. He was second on the team in sacks and second on the team in tackles, playing 40 to 50% of the snaps. That's how talented this guy is. If this guy is who I think he is and how he is progressing, I was kind of questioning the SEC. I think he was first or second team mentioned preseason. He will be a first team or second team all preseason player if he continues what I think he's continuing in this camp to the season. That's how talented this guy is. This guy is a special football player. I'm excited to watch him this year. I think he's going to be the middle linebacker. The only question now is he going to have the communication in his helmet? That's the only question. Question at first was middle linebacker. That has quickly been answered. He's killing it. Now it's just, is he going to be in control of this defense in his second year? This guy can be the most talented linebacker in the history of Texas football. For any of you guys that don't know, just go and Google the lineage of Texas football. The last really great one we had was Derek Johnson. I think he can mimic that at Texas. I really do. Ewers and Arch both had great days. They both did have an interception. To me, that's not that big of a deal. Offensive timing is going to be hard to get down early in camp. And in the season, you'll see teams be better on defense than they were on offense. So it doesn't shock me. Arch has a strong connection with Ryan Wingo, and Quinn Ewers has a strong connection with Matthew Golden. That makes sense because Arch Manning's running the second team. Ryan Wingo has been running mostly second team at wide receiver. He has obviously sprinkled in first team as well. And then Matthew Golden. I tried to scream from the tallest mountaintop for both Silas Bolden and Matthew Golden because Isaiah Bond is getting all the love, and he's a good player. Silas Bolden, I heard I heard bigger sources who I question sometimes basically be like, we think he's going to be special teams only, here and there playing, not that much. Guys, throw on the tape of Silas Bolden. It is a joke if you think that. It is a complete joke. I also heard the same site say, you know what? I think Matthew Golden's going to be a backup. I think DeAndre Moore is going to play in the slot. Throw on the tape of Matthew Golden at Houston. A man was not coming here to be a backup. Matthew Golden is going to have the biggest jump out of anyone stats-wise because of who he has around him at Texas. The guy had Donovan Smith throwing the football at Houston on Dana Holgerson's last leg of coaching. Yes, he's going to put up way better stats at Texas with the offensive scheme, the offensive line, the connection with Quinn Ewers. Mark my words, it would shock me if Matthew Golden has anything less than 600 yards receiving. It would shock me. I would actually be more shocked if he had less than 600 yards than if he had 1,000. Same with Silas Bolden. Silas Bolden's going to have 500-plus yards receiving, guys. And he's going to have a lot of touchdowns in the special teams game-wise as well. I think he's going to have 3 to 5 touchdowns in the punt and kick return game. I shouldn't say 3 to 5. I think we'll have 2 to 3 in the punt and kick return game. I almost got ahead of myself. 5's a lot. I think we'll have 2 to 3. Running backs Christian Clark and Jared Gibson both fumbled. That worries me. Like we said about the C.J. Baxter thing, you can't have the catastrophic stuff happen. That is catastrophic. You cannot fumble. One of them was a fantastic play. It actually got tweeted out on Twitter if you guys want to check it out. Jahdae Barron came in and made a great play on the ball with Christian Clark going into the end zone, helmet on the ball. That's going to happen. That's fine. I'm talking about the loose carrying out here where it gets swiped out. Cannot happen. Jade Blue also has issues with that. So keep an eye out on that. Like I said, also, Darian Gillette got a couple inside zone carries. Steve Sarkisian did talk today. I did not have a chance to watch that press conference because it has not been put up on YouTube yet. I don't know if he talked about if Darian Gillette switch to running back is permanent or not. I'm sure he was asked that question. It'll be interesting. I'll go back and watch that. Like I said, it hasn't been put out yet. For whatever reason, the Texas Longhorns channel just doesn't put out Steve Sarkisian's press conferences. I have to get them from another source now because the Texas Longhorns channel is connected with Longhorn Network, and obviously that's down now. So that doesn't make any sense to me. But the main 6 wide receivers are still running first team. Bolden, Golden, Bond, Wingo, Moore, and then Cook also, but he's actually teetering off. He's not running as much first team as he was originally. I might nail my predictions for reps wide receiver when it comes to wide receivers. I said DeAndre Moore would be 6th. I said Jonte Cook would be 5th. I said Ryan Wingo would be, I said Silas Bolden would be 4th. I said Ryan Wingo would be 3rd. I said Matthew Golden would be 2nd and Isaiah Bond 1st. I might nail that rep wise. So we'll see. And Silas Bolden had the catch of the day. He dove out for a ball and made the catch. Not surprising there. Juan Davis actually got more first-team reps than Amari Niblack as well. So Juan Davis is 100% playing this year. I'm really interested to see how they divvy up those reps between Amari Niblack and Juan Davis. Obviously, Gunnar Helm's going to get the majority of reps at tight ends. You're going to see tight ends, 2 tight end sets a lot. Obviously, Sark loves 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. So you're going to see that. It's going to be interesting. Is Gunnar Helm and Juan Davis going to be a more used combination than Amari Niblack and Gunnar Helm? It's going to be very interesting. But Amari Niblack did line up at outside wide receiver a lot, so that's good as well. Like I said, Steve Sarkisian is going to use this offense just how I think they're going to use the defense. Is versatility is going to be the big word. He made that the biggest word this offseason. You're going to see guys play out of position, but they're going to be used to it because they're getting runs in camp like this. Like I said, all 6 of these wide receivers have played all completely different positions, other than, I believe, Ryan Wingo. He's only played the X or the Z. He has not played the Y, the slot at all. Every other guy has played all 3 positions. So they're going to line them up everywhere. They're going to run out some crazy It would not shock me at some point if you see 3 tight end sets, but spread out wide with Gunnar Helm, Juan Davis, and Amari Niblack with like a wide receiver and a running back out there. There's going to be some crazy stuff Sark dials up. And I think it's going to be on a week-to-week basis, attacking the defense and in their weaknesses. So I'm going to love that. Alfred Collins and Vernon Broughton lined up with the first teams at defensive tackle. I think you can lock that in. That's going to be your first team defensive tackle group. Tia Sevilla also had a really good day, so I think he's probably running 3rd right now. Jermaine Lollet is on a pitch count because of all the injuries he sustained at Arizona State and Louisville. So I think he's a guy that, honestly, he's going to be rotational. I think he's only going to really play 20% of the snaps, meaningful snaps. This is the hard thing to say. There are going to be snaps where he's not going to play in ULM because they're not going to need him. But meaningful snaps, I still only think he's going to play about 20% of them. And then they have a NASCAR package, guys. Colin Simmons, Anthony Hill, Trey Moore, and Ethan Burke out there all rushing the passer. Colin Simmons is actually the Sam linebacker, which is the strong side linebacker where most of your personnel line up on one side. That's where he would line up. I believe Tom Herman had a package like this when they had a bunch of defensive backs out there. They ran them like 7 or 8 defensive backs out there. So it's kind of like the inverse of that, I guess. But it's smart. That is your strength, is the edges. Throw as many of them out there as you can. And you're going to see that with Johnny Nansen also. Johnny Nansen would use a game plan one week, rip it up, and use a completely different one next week to attack the offense and their strengths and what they're trying to do, which is 100% how you play. I don't know why every defensive coordinator doesn't do that, but they don't. Most are usually stuck in their scheme. We're going to do it this way, and if they're going to beat us, this is how they're going to beat us. Johnny Nansen is, this is their strength. Let's take it away. Let's make them use their weaknesses. We'll see how it works in year 1 with Johnny Nansen and PK, but I like the strategy nonetheless. The first team safeties, guys, were Michael Taff and Andrew Makuba. You also had Derek Williams and Jelani McDonald get first team reps. You're going to see all 4 of those guys, I think, play quite a bit. Again, based on personnel, based on situation. Just like this, Jalen Gilbo was the main nickelback. Jahdae Barron also played there as well. Like I said he would 4 months ago. Jahdae Barron wasn't going to come back to school just to play nickelback again. He's going to play cornerback. He's going to play safety. He's going to play nickelback as well. But anyone dumb enough to think, he's just going to come back and play nickelback? No, because if that was the case, he would have went to the NFL. So it doesn't make any sense for him just to come back and play nickelback. I actually think he's a safety on the next level, Jahdae Barron, that is. So we'll see. They also played both of them at the nickelback position in the red zone at the same time. You saw this versus Kansas State a little bit. And again, based off personnel and how they're running the offense. I love it, guys. The more things you practice and camp, you can execute in the game. You can use all this versatility and all this stuff in games because you've practiced it. If these guys have never practiced this position, you can't just throw them out there in the game and expect it to work. And at least you may never use it in the game, but at least you've practiced it so you know you can do it and execute it in the game. They've also been rotating offensive linemen, and I think that's going to be permanent. They've rotated in Cole Hudson and Neto at the guard positions for Hayden Connor and DJ Campbell. I think based on situations, you're going to rotate them in. Now, do I think Sark's not dumb enough to where, oh, it's a run, this guy's a better run blocker, we're going to throw him in? If they do that, there are going to be issues down the road. But I like this. I really do. I think it's good. I think it keeps guys healthy. And you have 7 guys that are good enough to play. So why not play them? So we've worked hard enough to recruit them, get them on campus, develop them. Why not play them? And it's come it's far and away better than it was when Sark got here. When we had 4 to 5 guys that we could trust, we have 7 to 8 now, 7 for sure. So they've done a fantastic job. And that is the camp and scrimmage update.